You are now tuned in to the War Party Paranormal Radio Show, where we will be discussing actual audio and visual clips captured during the team's investigations. Hear firsthand eyewitness accounts from fellow team members and special guests. Now smash that like, subscribe, and follow button, and let's get ready to welcome team leader and your host, Eric Vanderlaan, and tech specialist and co-host, Mike Delcoro.
Happy Monday, everybody. Yeah, it's a pretty good Monday, right? I mean, for me. I don't know about you.
Sure. Absolutely, man.
Well, I'm Eric Vanderlaan, the host of the War Party Paranormal Radio Show and team leader of War Party Paranormal. And I got my buddy over here.
What's up, guys? My name is Mike Delcoro. I am your co-host and investigator with War Party Paranormal. And we got a great show for you guys tonight. I'm going to let Eric tell you what we're getting into.
I'm like so focused on like the background, like your Ouija board, lantern.
Yeah, I got a bunch of crap back there.
I'm like so focused on that right now. I can't focus on the show. But we got an amazing show. We got our good buddies back here. We got Micah and Courtney from Savannah Theatre, Ghost Coast Paranormal. And we also have their buddies, Bridget and Dylan from, I'm going to get this wrong, the Witching Hour. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, you're correct.
All right. My apologies, but we'll get it right. But they're putting together an amazing event. It is going to be the MacabreCon at the Savannah Theatre. It's just around the corner. If you haven't gotten your tickets, get your tickets. But it's going to be a different kind of event, and it's actually going to be a really good event where you're going to be learning a lot of things. So, and if you're a paranormal investigator, this is a a big event to go to. But I got an intro, and Mike, do you want to see it?
I sure do. Let's check it out.
All right. All right. Without further ado, let's bring them on board. Bam and bam.
Welcome, folks.
What's up?
What's going on?
Intro videos always get me pumped, bro. Like every time I see them, I'm like, yes, dude, it's cool. It's cool.
Dude, you haven't met Ernesto. He plays like a double neck electric guitar. He wrote that for us.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah. Check out Modern Mimes. That's his band.
Dude, that's really cool. I really like the Mike. Are you the one doing the intros?
No, Eric does all the intros for this. Yep.
Oh wow, Eric.
Well, I cheat a little bit. I use CapCuts.
Hey, whatever, dude.
It's user friendly.
I use CapCuts and I just
looks good.
Music.
That's not cheating, man. Anything, whatever you got to do. Tools are tools.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm Micah. This is Courtney, and that's Dylan and Miss Bridget from Witching Hour Paranormal in Savannah, Georgia. They have a really cool walking tour, and we have teamed up to bring everybody this fabulous.
Damn, son, you're not wasting any time.
No, well, I wanted to introduce Dylan and Bridget because people are probably looking at them going, who is that handsome man standing there and who is that pretty gal right next to him? So I just want to get that out of the way. That's Bridget and Dylan, and we've been, Dylan's and Bridget are our best friends. I mean, honestly, and we have been working together so closely lately that, I mean, they deserve just as much as everything that we do, and that's why I wanted to bring him on with you guys today. So I just want to say, hey, what's up, Dylan and Bridget?
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah, so now that that's out of the way, let's do it.
So we got a little event coming around the corner, August 25th through the 27th.
29th.
Oh, okay.
29th through the 31st.
I don't know if I'm coming or going. I'm going to Gettysburg next week. Going to be going to New Jersey 1 week. Going to be there. You go.
Yeah. Yeah.
There it is.
Buy your tickets.
MacabreCon Savannah.com. That's where you can get your tickets. That's where you can get your VIP tickets. We have different VIP packages. If you actually get a VIP package, you get your own assigned seating, and that will be your seating for the whole weekend. So you'll never. Sorry.
I got my table and it worked everything.
I'm gonna put my hands down here in my lap. And
big thanks to our producer for helping out the backgrounds.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you, Bill.
Yep, Bill. What? So I was just thinking about the last time that we were on, and you said something about doing like a dunk tank experiment in a bodysuit.
Yeah,
that is something that Erica.
I keep thinking about that every time I come on here now.
We're not doing that.
Yeah, no, we need to. I think we should try it this weekend.
Yeah, because I got like this, it's when I was in high school, I had like this wetsuit, so it's like a super tight,
really
like tight glove, like really tight. Like my head starts turning blue. I think that would be perfect.
I think it would too. And then put some headphones on you and some Delco goggles and go to work.
We're gonna tease people because they're gonna want to get those front row seats. They're gonna be fine for that.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for. And you know, if you with the MacabreCon, if you actually purchase those VIP tickets, like I was saying before, you actually get your own seat for the weekend. So you can come back all weekend long and always have your seat to where if I'm moving the table again, sorry. And
VIP.
Yeah, and you can come back and sit at your own seats all weekend, and yeah.
No, man, I think what you guys are doing is awesome, and we're a scientific based team, so we really enjoy what you guys got going on. And Dylan was kind of telling us a little bit of things off stage, and I really like what he was telling us. And you want to go ahead, and Dylan, and kind of tell us some of your main speakers that you're going to have coming out here, and what the goal is for this particular Paracon to be different than everything else that's got going on. Things have become a little bit more media driven, things like that. So I kind of like going back to the roots, what you guys are doing here, and get into the scientific things, get some like-minded people chatting round table style, and getting it out there and getting some different points of view from investigators and scientific evidence and different things like that, and getting it all and mashing it all together. So let's hear like a little bit about what you were telling us.
It's a symposium, not a synopsis. Last time, I don't know why, but I was saying synopsis.
We get what you're talking about, Eric. You always we get you. We understand you, buddy.
I think it's very much what we thought of from the beginning, because Micah and I were talking about what we wanted, and what we'd seen in the past was that pretty much every Paracon that people are going to, it has people who are on TV. And okay, that can draw people in. But these people are famous for being on TV. They're not actually famous for having done any published or scientific research. So people are looking up to these people as influencers and, as a basis to launch pad what their research. But we wanted to bring people in who are actually experts in their particular field.
Yeah, instead of social media, it's academic driven.
Yeah, and it's one of the things that a lot of paranormal investigators say, there are no experts in the paranormal, and I will disagree with that. It's like saying there's no experts in law, there's no experts in medicine, that there are, but they have their particular specialties. So what we're trying to do is bring people in. So we've got Dr. Elena Pirrock, who's a historian at Georgia Southern University. She's fascinated by collecting historic ghost stories and accounts. And as a historian, she can provide really invaluable insight how we as investigators can improve our historical research in cases. And then we've got one of my very best friends and colleagues, Steve Parsons, who's a physicist, and he's an advisor to the oldest academic organization in the world for researching the paranormal, and that's the Society for Psychical Research. He's written several books, including Ghostology and Paracoustics, and he's looking at infrasound in haunted locations for his doctorate. And he will be talking about equipment on the Saturday that investigators use. And then on the Sunday, he's going to be looking at the relationship between sound and the paranormal. He's also going to be joined by one of his colleagues, Dr. Anne Winsper. Now, she got her doctorate in psychology a few years ago. She was looking at whether there is a certain personality type of people who use EVP, but are more likely to hear what they perceive as speech in what is just random sound. So she's going to be looking at that. And then we're going to have I'll just say that I'll be doing a presentation. What my doctorate's looking at is whether the media is influencing paranormal investigators and the way that they behave and the things that they do, the equipment that they use, and so on. Then we've got some people from around Savannah themselves, local psychics, local investigators, local storytellers, and looking at what they can bring in. So what Micah and I really wanted to do with Bridget and Courtney was say, look, let's get the academics in a room. Let's get those with a passion for the paranormal in the same room, get a dialogue going, and really make ourselves and our chosen field, our passion, better.
Absolutely.
Awesome. I love it. And that's what more I think we need more of in this field. You know what I mean? A lot is, and I'm not going to lie, Eric and I have a show on Paraflix where we get out there and we investigate and we put what we capture, but we do things a little different. We're non-scripted, none of that. It's two guys with a camera. We go out, we investigate, and we film what we capture. And we don't capture anything. We don't have anything. You know what I mean? But we've been so fortunate that we've been capturing a lot of different evidence. But we're not entertainers. We're investigators that are documenting what we capture and putting it out there on editing it and making it not so it's like watching paint dry, because you know what I mean. Sometimes investigation can it's fun while you're doing it, but it could be not so fun for people to watch sometimes when there's not much going on. But yeah, no,
well, I like this because I'm a researcher, and if I'm a researcher, I'm gonna want to learn like all these people that you're talking about. Like I'm thinking like, damn, I want to pick their brains the whole weekend and possibly incorporate something into our investigations.
Well, that's why I like investigating. That's why I've loved investigating with you guys. Is you guys take a totally different approach. You guys are more like-minded. I mean, I think there's a lot of us out there like that. I mean, if you can shoot, a few hundred miles and get the same kind of people, same like-minded people, imagine how many people across the country are just trying to do the same thing. And really what we want to do is sit in a room and go, what are we looking at?
True.
What are we doing here? What are we doing here? What's the new experiment? How are we pushing this forward? And I know that, I've talked about before about para-unity, but it's hard. Para-unity has proved itself to be kind of hard because everybody's so territorial. And my thing is I don't necessarily want to have, like, say, quote unquote, a para-unity, but if you want to find out what people are really doing, infrasound. I mean, Dylan just said it a little bit ago. I think there has a lot to do with infrasound. Mike, you've already got stuff going with your goggles, and we've been experimenting with those on a nightly basis at the theater and been getting some great results. And I would
like to hear what these people's thoughts are on the Delco experiment. Whether
also real quick, Courtney, James just said that he received his and yours back. I repaired them, and he has them now.
Oh, perfect. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I broke them.
Yeah, shit happens. I don't mind fixing them for people when they send them to me.
Yeah. Well, I broke them good, I think. But yeah, I mean, that's
so you're good.
And that's what the whole thing is about. Is I want it to be the investigators' Paracon.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what I want. And then that's kind of the thought that, Bridget, Dylan, and Courtney and myself kind of had going into this, is we wanted to be the investigators' Paracon. We want to know what the next steps are. The PhDs are hearing what they have to say. And we got we got fabulous people, not only all these PhDs and everything, but we have like Miss Andrea Perrin.
Yep.
And I'm super excited to bring her in. And I don't know.
She has her show. She has her show on our network.
Yes. Have you guys ever met her?
Not personally yet.
Oh my God, dude.
You're gonna love her.
You're gonna love her. She gives the best hugs in the world. She is a beautiful.
I thought you did.
She is a beautiful, gentle soul, and I really love her. And I'm just glad that she's making it all the way out here for us. And I know she's had a lot going on in her life lately, and supposedly her dad. Hi. And supposedly her father might possibly be coming out as well.
Oh, nice.
It's his birthday?
And it's his birthday weekend. I don't know if that kind of interview has been done in a while. I don't know if it's going to happen again. So if you've ever wanted to ask her father about some things that have happened in that house, and then this would be the time. This would definitely be the time, and that's what we're here to do, is have people speak and talk, and then be able to be open to where you can approach them and ask them questions and get to know them, and
Like Eric said, the brains.
pick their brains a little
Pick
bit.
their brains.
Mhm.
Yeah, exactly. It's definitely exciting, and unfortunately, I'm not going to make it this time. Hopefully, there's a second annual, and the third, and the fourth, and the fifth, and I'll make it next time. But I just happen to have some family stuff going on right then and there. But I'm super excited about this, and
I'm going to make Mike proud.
Yeah, you better.
Oh yeah, no, I have no doubt.
You better.
You guys will.
You better not drop the ball.
You've got a huge team coming to support. So
I got a lot of stress on my plate, but you better not drop the ball, Mr. Eric.
I never drop the ball.
Yeah, I mean, I personally think I love looking into past research that has been declassified and released, and looking at that for information. Like, that's kind of how I came up with the Delco goggles, looking at the Gansfeld experiment and looking at different things that they were using to test ESP, the Gateway Project, and things of this nature. And that really intrigues me, and that's like my main fascination to do with the paranormal and all things weird. Was looking into past research done by so-called professionals and different things in the government. And if the government is intrigued enough to look into some of these things, then there has to be more to it, right? And obviously they're not gonna release all their findings and this and that. But I was digging deep one day into the Freedom of Information Act, and I did find a small piece on EVPs where they were capturing EVPs and said they were a human voice, and they were capturing them in a controlled environment. And they weren't able to debunk it. They weren't radio waves, stray radio waves, like a lot of people claim, and different scientists claim that they are, different things of that nature. So there's a lot of information out there too, that if you Erica, you said you're a researcher, to dig in and find in that you have to dig through a lot of crap, but yeah, it's out there. It's out there.
Well, the University of Miami Film School did a story on us, and it's funny, they had I forgot,
a physics professor.
A physics professor, and he was like, didn't believe in the paranormal, and he was, what does EMF have to do with paranormal, and the EVPs, talking about how they had an old transistor radio hiking up in the mountains, and he was picking up stuff from Australia, which doesn't have anything to do with what we're doing. So I don't know. So it'd be cool to you got some professors there and some reputable people to prick their brains.
I mean, kind of going into that just real quick. So high frequency radio waves can travel around the world, and there is a lot of stray frequencies out there. High frequency will bounce off the atmosphere, bounce off the earth, and bounce off the atmosphere and travel around the world, like the professor was saying. But you're going to capture that in a basement on a recorder with you know,
The intelligent response.
you know,
that's clear as day.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
Like,
it's easy for some mainstream scientists just easily dismiss it without looking at it because it's too, you know, in there, yeah, woo woo for them. You know what I mean? But it's starting to come around, and it's starting to be more, you know, in
if I'm
your
that
everyday
lucky,
life.
I'm going to be running to the casino and betting money.
Yeah, exactly, right.
Yeah.
You know how hard it is to tune in a radio to a certain frequency to pick up something. If I put a single sideband in front of you and told you to pick up something from Australia, you wouldn't be able to do it without proper training. So to capture that on a recorder, but like you said, also sometimes can somebody like pareidolia, can you pick up a sound, that a static or something that might sound like something to you but not to somebody else, you know? But that's why they have different ratings of EVPs, you know. It's class A, class B, you know. If you can listen, if I can go ahead and play this to you and you can pick it up without me saying anything, and you say that says this and I agree and the next person agrees, and you have a class A EVP, that's hard to dispute. If you have a class C where I tell you, or a B where I say, hey, listen, I believe this says this, and then I put that forethought in your head, and then you listen to it and you go, okay, that sounds like that.
Yeah.
Then, you know, you have different things, you know. So there, you know, I feel like there's a mixture of both, you know. Sometimes, you know, people can get a little carried away. You know, I do say you want to be open-minded, but you don't want to be so open-minded that your brains fall out.
Yeah.
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 And a lot of
Well, I
it
told
is
people
like
before too. I mean,
exploring.
and it kind of all depends on what the form of questioning and the answer you get.
Yeah.
Like we tell people on the tours every night, if you're asking a question like "What's your name?" and it says ice cream or it says some other word, we know. I mean, I got to throw it out.
That's my nickname, bro.
Yeah, I know why.
I'm cold.
But it depends
You never
on
know.
what it tells
You never know what Eric's going to say.
Yeah, no, I know what he's going to say. I can feel him from right here.
We're going to be feeling each other soon, so get ready.
We are. With some ice cream.
Yep.
Damn it! I might have
Any
to cancel
flavor
and
you
come.
want.
Any flavor you want. I want vanilla. So that's my point being is that I understand. I get that too. I've thought about that numerous of times about could it be radio signals coming through or could it be radio waves coming through? Because I've actually had, you know, we conduct the experiment on a nightly basis where we take the spirit box and we run it. We take an SB7 spirit box, so the older one, the single channel, and we run it through an amplifier with of course like a reverb pedal to kind of give the voice more depth, and then a noise cancellation to actually cut out the radio. So really all you're getting is the really strong signals coming through the spirit box. And there's been many a times where, I mean, just the other night, we were set up, had everything going. All I had was the SB7 hooked up to this amplifier. And from the dressing room of the building, as we're sitting in the lobby, it goes, haunted. And we just kind of like looked at each other, and I was like, did we just hear that? And she goes, haunted. Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, very clearly. And
You know what? I was always very skeptical about the spirit box, right? But after using it as much as I have and different things, you know, there's some stuff that you just can't explain, right? Like,
yeah, you really can't.
When you hear clear as day words that the FCC will slap us on the wrist for saying on the radio, how is that coming through a radio?
Exactly.
You know?
I mean, we have
traveling in the atmosphere from
it's bouncing off of the.
You know, when something says when you get
satellite somewhere in the sky,
when you get an FU through, you know what I mean, like through a spirit box, and you can't say, well, that was that was a DJ on the radio, you know. So. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting, and I think that's why, you know, having these conversations with people that are specialists. You know, I would maybe next time or whatever get a voice recognition specialist. That's who I want to talk to. That's the kind of guy, like from a forensic speech analysis fella. That's what
Okay.
Ooh.
I didn't even think about that.
Okay. Something for next year?
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I and it hit me from one of these shows that I saw years ago. Remember Monster Quest?
Yeah.
So they did an episode on the Lizzie Borden house, and it stuck in my head. And they captured it, and it was a couple guys, a couple investigators come in, and they investigated the house, and they captured an EVP, the same EVP, on two separate recorders on two separate sides of the room, and they sent it to a voice analyst guy that worked for the FBI, and they didn't tell him what it was. They just said, "Can you describe what is on these two recorders?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's a human voice without vocal cords, and it is at like 6 dB or whatever." I'm paraphrasing there, and which that means that it was doing the calculations. It was approximately a foot away from the microphone, and they're like, and that came through simultaneously on both microphones from both recorders at the same dB, which is physically impossible.
Oh, wow.
That's what I'm talking about.
You had me at no vocal cords. That just gross.
Right? So
What does that sound like?
So
Yeah,
I will
no.
say, since we're talking about, spirit boxes and voices that have come through. So I do walking tours, but we use spirit boxes and things of that nature. And I've had on actual several occasions people who would use the spirit box, and then they would end up allegedly communicating with their loved ones, and they could actually hear their voices, and their families would actually hear the voices on them too. So just following up on that, I think it would be actually really cool to see what somebody would say in regards to that. But I don't deny it. I don't, if somebody thinks that, and especially if it actually does respond in a sense of where it's actually giving educated responses, and it's only things that they know, and it's live on the tour, then who am I to say? Because I don't know their loved one, but a lot of them would actually say that they hear them as clear as day.
Well, and that's nothing strange, Bridget, to be honest with you, because we have people come in all the time and
On a nightly
basis, and they'll come out and be like, "I think I was just talking to my uncle,
Yeah.
or my grandfather, or my mom, or my dad." And I honestly think, if we wanted to even ourselves conduct some sort of study and try to see if there's something to where when we actually use this equipment, if we're actually getting loved ones to come through, are they with us? Right? Are they? I'm sorry, I'm just a big galoot. I'm a bull kind of shot.
That has happened in our events. Like maybe what they're thinking is I don't know. We're not an expert on the paranormal. I mean, maybe they are, but maybe they're thinking like, okay, this is my opportunity.
Yeah,
it's going to be the easiest way I can communicate with them, and I'm going to do it now while they're with these people at this event that can help communicate my message to my loved one. That's
what I think.
I believe
Eric, I don't know if you remember. I'll let you tell the story because I'm talking a lot, so I'll let you let you run your show. But I remember when we were doing a Delco experiment in the old church at the Yesteryear Village, and everything that was coming through didn't have anything to do with the questions I was asking. It was like it was, but so I was like, all right, this is a bust. This one's no. And then the lady up in the front row that was sitting in the pew starts crying, in a happy way. Not in a scared or nervous or any kind of. She was excited and happy, crying, and she goes, "Eric, do you remember this by any chance?"
Yeah, I remember.
All right, I don't know if you want to tell more about it or
you don't remember it.
No, I do. I was trying to work like a radio show. We feed back and forth off of each other. Okay. Anyway, so
that's your story. I'll let you run with it.
Okay. Awesome. So basically, she started crying, and I stopped and I said, "Are you okay?" And everything. She goes, "The person that you just named, the name that came through was my uncle. I can't remember everything because we do this so often." But she said, what you said right there was the way that he died and the month that he died and everything. And then it was everything related to exactly to my uncle. And she laid it out and I got the goosebumps, man. I was all a little freaked out myself. It was so wild that everything just lined up. And Mary Lynn, she's a great psychic medium. She's in our chat here. And she said, loved ones are always going to come through if they're trying to talk. And especially like what Eric said, you know, maybe if they're trying to communicate with that person and they're not having the easiest of times, all of a sudden there's equipment around, right? Hey, now's my chance.
Or there's no one that's like a medium around, you know, like
yeah, exactly.
I think that's a lot like what it's like. They say that like mediums or psychics or sensitives are people that are like beacons, right? I mean, we've heard this probably multiple years out of our life, that they're beacons on the other side, that they attract that type of thing. And I think, like we said earlier, working with these type of tools and being around like-minded people kind of maybe will put off that energy like, hey, we're the beacon here at this moment, and maybe bring that stuff in. And she said something else earlier too. She said that they're rarely ever stuck. Yeah. I saw that. You guys put that up on the, Mary Lynch. Yeah. They're rarely ever stuck. And I honestly believe that we have spirits that come and go. I quite honestly think that, because there's times we'll be sitting at the theater and all of a sudden we'll go, "What's your name?" And it'll be like, "Brian." What? Brian? Where'd you come from, Brian? Like, it's just that thing. Like, who's Brian?
That's like our Paul Hammer at the Veely house. Sometimes he comes out strong and he's a son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Sometimes we can't get him. It's quiet.
Yeah. And exactly. And Brian, like, he rarely comes through, but
when he does, it's strong.
Sometimes he just walks through and is like, "Hey, I'm here, fools, later." You know what I mean? Like, okay, later, Brian.
Well, we got to pay some bills.
Pay some bills, baby.
And then after that, we're going to show you a little something.
All right.
Something.
Uh-oh.
What is up, my paranormal peeps? You may be wondering why we're holding something like these in our hand, and my buddy's going to tell you all about it.
The reason that we have this paranormal equipment in our hand is because we're giving a big shout out to the Ghost Hunter store, one of our sponsors. They're your one-stop shop for everything paranormal.
That's right, and you may have seen some of these equipment on your favorite paranormal TV shows.
Exactly, especially the Haunted Files on Paraflix.
Mike's got that right.
All right, guys, so check them out, and if you use the code word Ghost Gone Wild,
not Girls Gone Wild,
Ghost Gone Wild, in your checkout, you'll get a discount on your purchase. Thank you, guys.
Peace. Hi, I'm Eric, and this is Mike from War Party Paranormal Radio Show and the Haunted Files on Paraflix. And Mike, we got something pretty cool, right?
Heck yeah. So, I want to talk about Haunted Happy Hour, spirit-infused coffee. They have many different flavors, all kinds of different stuff. They're great people. They have a podcast with great content, and they got an amazing product here. So, this one actually is Sweet Rum Bliss. And what's amazing about this, you order this product and you also get 1 month free subscription to Paraflix. So you can watch us.
Yeah, and you might be feeling dead inside, but get caffeinated with Haunted Happy Hour.
All right.
Are you ready to explore the unknown?
Eventually.
Brace yourself for a journey into the supernatural. Paraflix Paranormal Plus, your gateway to the paranormal, all-in-one streaming service. Dare to explore, dare to believe, dare to stream alone.
It does not want us here.
Sign up now and embark on a supernatural adventure like never before. Paraflix Paranormal Plus, the universal home of paranormal.
Yeah, guys, and if you are unaware, Eric and I have a show on Paraflix called The Haunted Files. Right now we have season 3 all up and loaded up for you guys to watch right now. We are filming season 4 currently. And, so it's a good time to catch up on some of the episodes, check out what we've been up to. And I'm going to play a quick trailer for one of our episodes, and we'll be right back. Deep in the Florida Everglades sits a once secret NASA contracted rocket test facility. Built in 1963 for the sole purpose of testing different types of rocket fuels to launch astronauts to the moon. Now a hotspot for urban explorers and local python hunters, this facility is also still being used for satanic worship and occult practices.
We found actually probably about a 50-foot pentagram, red spray painted pentagram.
Yeah, let's get the fuck out of that room. There's so many upside down crosses and shit, dude.
In the middle of the pentagram was a 3-legged chair, and at the base of that chair was what looked like a pretty large blood stain.
What's the odds of this thing saying Satan, when we're here, specifically looking to see if there's anything dark here to confirm what the python hunters found?
Let me ask you this. What was that? What happened? It was a moan, a loud moan.
I got it on here.
Whoa! I heard that too. That was from a satellite wave too.
Yeah, it was. That kind of scares me a little bit.
That freaked us out. And you know what? I'm gonna keep it real short, but real quick. We were in that building and that area, and Eric, I don't know what happened to him. I've never seen this in my life. Started zoning out, man. He had this blank look on his face. He was just staring at the wall, and he was sitting. And I was like, Eric, we're gonna head and do an EVP session over here. And Big Joe was with us. And I look over at Joe, and I'm like, dude, is he all right? And he looks at him, and he looks at me and goes, no. And I'm like, Eric. And I'm calling him. And a second later, he kind of like snapped out of it. He's like, hey, what's up? Like nothing ever happened. And there was 45 seconds ish that went by where he was just sitting there staring, not blinking, staring.
I passed out at an investigation one time. And I can't explain it because I've never passed out before. But this was
Franny passed out on the way up there.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah, dude. So I was in a building. It was the Lompoc Chamber of Commerce in Lompoc, California, and went into that building. And there was supposed to be a lady that was in there in the building, and she hated everybody. And I went in there just talk. I mean, I was 21, 22 years old, just talking mad stuff to this spirit. And I walked out the room, and my buddy said he looked at me, and he goes, "You looked zoned off," and then all of a sudden you just fell. And he goes, "You just collapsed, your whole body just goes, and you just fell to the ground." I woke up to the ambulance drivers there, and they're like, "You want to go in the ambulance?" And I'm like, "I don't even know what you're doing here."
I think Eric has. I think Eric has a little surprise for you, don't you?
I do. I have a big surprise. You guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Got your seatbelt latched on?
Yeah.
Fall off the chair.
Oh God.
Welcome.
Welcome, Andrea.
Hey.
What are you doing?
Welcome to the show.
Oh, thank you, Eric. Eric, you have a wonderful show, and you have wonderful guests. And
thank you.
I'm very close friends with Sean and Amy Moore, who love all of you. And a couple of months ago, Amy called me, and she's like, "I know you're not doing events. I know you're, in chemotherapy. I know what you're going through, but would you even consider coming to Savannah to do MacabreCon?" And I was like, I am there if I show up as a ghost. I am coming. And the thing that's most exciting is that my father, I think you probably all know that our mother passed away last June. And and we miss her terribly, although she'll be with me too, because she goes everywhere with me, even to the grocery store, I swear to God. And but my father, who will have just turned 90 the day before the event starts, is driving up with his partner Carlene to join us at the event, and everybody will get to sing happy birthday to him and ask him a bajillion questions. I mean, he is literally the eldest. He's the patriarch of the paranormal.
Right.
He is.
The OG.
And, yeah. So he's going to be there with me as well. And so everyone will have access to him the entire weekend and be able to ask him any questions, sit and talk. He loves a good cup of coffee. So
Oh,
yeah,
we
got that.
I got that.
I can't. I know. Well, we take it intravenously. That's different.
We need to get him a pot, not a shot. A whole pot of coffee. Okay.
Right.
Get him a pot. He likes it light and sweet.
Okay. Oh,
he does. So, yeah. So we're gonna have a wonderful time, and I am so looking forward to it. And I'm living with my sister in Villa Rica, Georgia, which is, of course, where all my doctors and all the space machines they put me in, and all of that is right here. And together, she and I took care of our mother during the last couple of years of her life. We kept her home. We promised her for decades she would never go into any kind of a facility. Both Christine and I are very well trained in, medical care, and we did the very best that we could for her, and she passed peacefully. My father is still alive and kicking in a big way at 90. So, so we'll have a wonderful time. And I love that theater, and I've only seen it from the outside. I never stepped foot in it, but its reputation precedes it. Mm-hmm. And I know there have been so many people there that have had extraordinary experiences. And the real good news is that I am a spirit magnet. It's like they know when I walk in a place. It doesn't matter if it's our old farmhouse or, any other place that I go in that is being cohabited. Mm-hmm. So I expect that we're going to have some remarkable experiences while I'm there. And I thank you so much for inviting me to do this, because it feels like, suddenly with the diagnosis that everything came to an end for me. I'm still writing, but I've done one thing all year long, which was a mystical healing weekend in Michigan. And this is my big event for the year. And I'm so thrilled to be there with all of you. Thank you for inviting me.
Well, we thank you, Andrea. I mean, honestly, when I met you the first time, I knew that I was dealing with a different person. I think I said it earlier. You give the best hugs, and you have the calmest, most gentle soul that I've ever met, to be honest with you. And I'm just gracious that you're able to come. And I can honestly tear up right now just seeing you, to be honest. So I'm just really excited for you to come.
And likewise,
honor.
Yeah, likewise for Bridget and I. You're not going to see just the outside of the theatre. You are going to be treading the boards.
That's right.
Yes. And you can do whatever you want with me. I am at your disposal. Or, I have an aversion to being laid in a coffin, but other than that, I'm good. And if we have a chance to scoot away for a little while, I would really love. It's been it's several years now since I've had the chance to go to the ocean, and I find it so incredibly healing. And Tybee Island is right there, so if we could just make a little field trip and let me.
I'm a Tybee girl. I'll put you in my car. I got a parking pass and all that. I grew up on that island.
There we go.
I'll show you everything.
Oh, perfect.
Let's get your feet in the water. Let's do it. I am so ready.
Yeah, me too. I am so ready.
And how's Dad doing? Is he ready for the trip?
He is. He doesn't really drive anymore. Carlene does all the driving, but from Orlando to Savannah is, I think, maybe like 4 or 5 hours. It wouldn't be a terribly long trip. And I mean, she's an earth angel. You will fall madly in love with Carlene. And I'm bringing my little peanut butter cup, my little Chihuahua dog. She's
yes.
And Dad and Carlene are bringing there too. So, you know, it'll be a family affair.
You just make Courtney excited. She's like, "Oh my God, babies!"
Oh, baby. You know, Peanut Buttercup, the princess. You know, I mean, there's only one thing to say to her when she asks for anything, and that is "as you wish."
Yes.
But she hasn't been on an adventure with me in a couple of years. You know, she hasn't been able to go anywhere. I haven't gone anywhere, so she hasn't gone anywhere. So she's always the belle of the ball every time I take her to a Paracon. So
Bill wants to know if there's any plans to develop a movie based on the actual events at the farmhouse.
Oh, any plans to develop a movie? I can't tell you much, but I can tell you that it's in the works. It's not feature film stuff. I don't want to do that. What I want to do is tell the true story, which blows The Conjuring right out of the water. And I want it to be on a streaming platform where everyone will have access to it as a series, because there's no way you can cram 10 years of experiences into a 2-hour film. That's ridiculous. They didn't even try with The Conjuring. They just, conjured their own story. From the case files of Ed and Lorraine Warren. I gave them my books. They all read House of Darkness, House of Light, from James Wan right on down to, well, I don't think the little girl that played my sister April read it. It was just too adult for her. But the young lady, Shanley Caswell, that played me in the film, she read all the books. And Warner Brothers was terrified to tell the real story. In fact, the screenwriters did their best to integrate some of the real things that happened there into the screenplay. And 7 times they attempted to tell the truth. And the suits at Warner Brothers sent the script back and said, take that out. Take it out. It's too much for people. They can't handle it. I give people a lot more credit for intelligence than that. And I think that, they made a horror movie, but the real true story is really a love story with a wicked supernatural twist. And, before my mother passed away, she said, this is not the kind of story that one should rightfully take to the grave. If we lived it, we have to share it, come what may. And so when I first started writing the books in 2007, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know there was a worldwide paranormal community. Honestly, I didn't. I had gone on with my life and done other things. And then she's like, that's it. It's time. We have to tell. And I think I was like 300 pages in or more into volume 1 when she came over to this desk right here one day and she said, what's the title? And I hadn't even thought about that. And she just crossed her arms and she said, House of Darkness, House of Light. It was both, no comma. It was both, And when you think about the duality that we live in this 3-dimensional 5-sensory realm, that makes perfect sense, because it is that conflict of good and evil that each one of us, bears witness to and actually participates in on a day-to-day basis. It is the nature of our being in this realm. But when I'm with you in Savannah, you won't be in 3D all the time, because I know the way to 4D and 5D and beyond.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we can't wait.
And I love that approach too, because if you've ever lived in a home that you've had activity you almost know that sometimes it's scary and sometimes there is a light to it. There is
enlightening.
Yeah,
Absolutely
it's very
right.
enlightening. And so I like that aspect of it. And I like how I think the first time we sat down, we had pizza together.
Yes.
If you remember, in Rhode Island.
We did.
And I asked you, I said, what was real and what wasn't?
Mm-hmm.
And you started telling me some things, and I was just like, why did they make that movie? Why did they make it that way? I mean, it's a Hollywood thing.
I know, but I'm so grateful.
Yeah.
I really am, because I do believe that everything happens for a reason. Everything.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And, I wouldn't be where I am now. I mean, I'm not even on the road. I'm not even earning a living anymore. And yet the books that I'm still selling all these years later, the trilogy, volumes 1 through 3, sell as well now as they did when the movie opened.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be a top bookseller in this genre had it not been for The Conjuring.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Because people who are actually looking to be more than entertained, who are actually looking for information, a real quick Google search brings you right to me and right to my books.
Yep.
And so people buy them in droves, and I'm so grateful because they're keeping me going during, a difficult time in my life, which I intend to conquer this beast.
Yeah. And I think my point more is it's your actual story.
Yeah.
It's your actual family story. It's your mom's story. It's your dad's story. That's what I talk to a lot of people and they're like, oh yes, the house, they talk about the house in the movie, but there's folks like us that we want to know like how it really happened.
The real story.
How it all really went down and the information behind it and how you guys felt and how mom felt and how dad felt. And that's me.
You fill that theater up at the end of August, and I'll tell everyone everything. And so will my father. And you can come face to face with people who lived it. And honestly, had I not lived it, I don't know whether or not I would believe our own story, because there are some aspects of it that are, I think, quite literally unbelievable. But I also know that my mother had no fear of death because we lived in that house, and she knew, we all knew, that there was something beyond our mortal existence because we interacted with them. We witnessed their presence in that house for 10 years, and they didn't want us to go. My mother had to ask permission of the spirits to be able to sell that farm in 1980 and move. It's volume 3 of all 3 of the books is probably the one that is the most intense. And I thought that it would be the easiest to write, and it was the most difficult because it was the most emotional. I always thought, I loved that house. I was fascinated by that house. I never had a negative altercation with a spirit in that house. They loved me. I even got along with the cranky ones, because what to me that means is that we retain some element of our character when we pass. And, some of them lived some really hard lives. And we had, incidents of suicide. Well, if you think suicide is frowned upon now in 2025, go back 250 years. And, who knows if these spirits did not cross to the light because they didn't know if it was the light of God or if it was fire and brimstone burning forever in hell. And they didn't know. So it was safer for them, I think, to stay right where they were.
Yeah. We have a spirit at the theater. His name's Steven. And everybody always asks us, is he a bad ghost or he's a bad entity because he killed himself? And my number one answer is, from what I've studied in the past 5 years, of course not.
Of course not.
I think he gets, it's funny that you say that too, because I always say during investigation, sometimes people will ask questions if we start getting negative stuff. And I say, a lot of times the way that I feel about it is if you were an a-hole in life, you're probably an a-hole in your afterlife.
Yeah.
You know, it's not always demonic, or it's not always that. You know,
That's
it's
right.
it could just be somebody doesn't want to be bothered, trying to scare us out of there. You know, or
Yeah.
doesn't-
Sometimes it's beautiful. Sometimes it's just people with good memories, and they come back to it, and
it's just
Well,
like the human population. Some are good, some are bad, some are
Yeah.
happy.
People want
some
to
are
hear the good
sad,
shit.
some are-
That's the problem.
Well, I think that there is kinetic energy, there is residual energy, but
Right.
everything is energy.
Mhm.
Everything is. And they have limited ways that they can communicate. So I know exactly what to look for. I don't use any of the gizmos and gadgets. They didn't exist when I was growing up at the farm. Oh, for God's sake.
You're a human gizmo.
Washers didn't
You
exist.
are a human beacon.
Yeah. I mean, we didn't have microwaves didn't exist. I mean, when I was growing up at that farm, we had us, our human vessel, our ability to perceive, our ability to connect and integrate with what was happening there. The most fascinating element of it was the sense of timelessness. You never knew if you were in the 1970s or you were in the 1840s or you were in the 1760s, based on who was manifesting in form or what kind of energy was, or things flying through the house, lights going on and off. You didn't know. But the most fascinating thing, I know we're almost out of time, but I will tell you that the most fascinating thing that ever happened was the night my mother saw a whole family manifest in our dining room, and I was in the kitchen warming up some dinner for her, and she threw a log on the fireplace, and then she turned around because she heard laughter behind her, and I had just walked through that room and it was shut down for the night. It was dark, and as she turned and saw that there were 5 people having dinner together at a table that was not our own, being cooked over a fireplace that had been sealed shut 100 years before we moved into the house. And 2 men were sitting on one of the benches. 2 little boys were running around. Mom had just lifted the stew off the table and put it in the center. They were using dinnerware that was pewter, which was indicative of the 1700s. It was outlawed later because of the lead content, and they realized they were poisoning themselves. But one of the men looked into the parlor and saw my mother standing on the hearthstone, and he made direct eye contact with her. And then he nudged the man beside him and pointed her out, and she was the ghost. She was the ghost. So in that moment, my mother had her epiphany, her paradigm shift awakening. And that was that we were living in alternate dimensions simultaneously. They were looking into the future. She was looking into
the past.
Yeah.
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 Unreal.
I think that's the most incredible thing that ever happened there.
Andrea,
Wow.
as you know, you have a show on KGRA.
I do.
A World Awakening. And as you know, we got some compliance that we have to follow around here.
I know.
And I just have to let the listeners know that you'll be jumping on to the next show. But if you want to continue watching or listening to us, you can check us out on War Party Paranormal Facebook or War Party Paranormal YouTube. And to our watchers that are watching on Facebook and YouTube, check out KGRA Digital Broadcasting Network. And you can listen to and watch Andrea Perone, A World Awakening. And she's amazing. So,
and
Thank you.
I'm done with the compliance.
Soul School Sojourn and A World Awakening from 9 to 11 every Friday night, Eastern Time, ET. So yes, I will hop off and go have some dinner, late dinner tonight. And I love you all. I can't wait till we're all together and having supernatural shenanigans, paranormal experience.
And real quick, I'm very upset with Bill because Mike and I have been on this network for I don't know how many years, and this is the first time we talk.
Well, I will come, Eric. I will come on your show anytime you have.
Yeah, we have a lot more to talk about. If that,
We do,
we'd
and
love to have you back.
Wonderful, impeccable reputation. I'm happy to join you, darling.
Thank you so much.
And that was a complete
happy be on your show.
And that was a complete surprise to us. So I just want to say thank you, Miss Andrea. I really appreciate you, and I love you. You're awesome.
Can't wait to get my arms around you, big guy.
You better have it ready, girl.
I can't wait to meet you and get your autograph. That's what
I'll give you more.
He told me about the hug, so I'll be zeroing in on some hugs when I see you.
Oh, it's otherworldly. It's otherworldly.
We've got so many questions, and one of which is that your dog is called Peanut Buttercup, which is what I also call Micah.
Okay, you know what that is? A recipe for confusion. I'm telling you right now. Yeah, but I'll bet she answers to it better than he does.
That was good. I like that.
Thank you
So
all.
what
you.
an amazing night. What an amazing show. And you know, I am so happy that this event is going to be, you know, one for the books. It's going to be historic. So I am very proud of you guys. I love what you guys are doing, and I'm all for it.
Well,
thank you,
Eric. Anytime, give me a call. Bill's got me on speed dial. He'll give you the number. We'll do
absolutely. We'll have to take you up on that for sure.
And
I gotta get these 4 on my show too, A World Awakening. We just have to pre-record it because they're working on Friday nights when I'm doing a live show. So we'll do a pre-record. We'll get it together, and I will be promoting MacabreCon in a big way out into the interwebs.
Perfect.
Thank you so much, Miss Andrea. Thank you so much.
Have a wonderful night.
Thank you guys. Thank you everyone. Thank you everybody for joining. Thank you, Micah, Courtney, Bridget, Dylan, and anybody that wants to go ahead and kind of tell us where they can reach out. I know Andrea, you just did kind of tell us, you know, about your shows and stuff like that, and your books. Tell people where they can find the stuff real quick again. So if they're listening before we wrap it up, so they can get a hold of your stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I do ship books. And I've got some in stock. I'll bring a bunch with me to Savannah, but you can reach me on my Facebook page. And I also have a smaller fan group. It's got about 5,000 people. It's a real soft space in place in cyberspace to land. And it's called Buttercup Brigade. And you can find me there. And my admin, Lynn Ann Bowling, also known as Linny, or Linny the Pooh, she will hook you up, anybody, directly with me, and you know, take care of all the arrangements. And I'll be running off to UPS with some books for whoever wants what, posters, pictures, whatever.
I'm going to carry the flag for the Buttercup Brigade.
Oh, that's
yeah, I'm going to carry the flag for the Buttercup Brigade. I know, Dylan, you were laughing, dude. I saw you laughing, and I know exactly what was going through your mind.
Yeah, I'm getting your T-shirt printed.
Yeah. It's going to be my staff T-shirt.
Staff T-shirt. Well, I have one that says staff infection. I think that's
different. I love it. I love it.
And so good. So good. And Bridget and Dylan, where can people find your walking tours and your information and all that fun stuff?
Yeah, so to keep it short, sweet, and to the point, anything witchinghoursavannah.com, Instagram, all of our socials is just Google Witching Hour Savannah. Boom, we pull right on up.
Perfect. And Ghost Coast Paranormal?
Yeah, tell them.
Okay. Everywhere on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, all that, Ghost Coast Paranormal. No capitalization, no dots. You can find us there. And on YouTube, because we do post our live investigations afterwards, straight onto YouTube, live and unedited, so you can actually see what we see. Check us out. Ghost Coast Paranormal.
MacabreConSavannah.com. MacabreConSavannah.com. If you want those VIP passes, you want your day passes, please come to MacabreConSavannah.com and get your tickets, you guys. Dylan, real quick before we go, I wanted to also press on the opening night.
Oh yeah,
I
happening.
Can't really skip that, you guys. I'm sorry. I know it's probably going to take a minute.
for it.
Gentlemen, go ahead with what are we opening up with?
We have a great Friday launch event. We've got exclusive performance from Valentine Wolf, husband and wife duo. Braxton plays electric double bass, and Sarah, the vocalist, she is superb. They do like gothic, metal, rock, vampiric, Edgar Allan Poe inspired music. They're going to be performing. They're going to be joined on stage by Tally Johnson, who is an author from South Carolina who specializes in talking about actual ghost stories from the PD, the North Carolina, South Carolina region. So he's going to be telling those stories on stage whilst Braxton is improvising the music in the background to set the mood.
Oh, wow.
Cool. We're going to be having a panel on stage then. We're also going to be having Ghosted, the haunted comedy improv show, live on stage. So the audience get to participate. They get to shout out locations that could be haunted in the city, people who could be involved, and they're going to be doing an exclusive performance of that. And we're closing the night with an exclusive Victorian era seance on stage. But then I want to make quick mention that only is Andrew going to be joining us, but our other guest of honor is Dacre Stoker, and that's Bram Stoker's great grand nephew. And wow. He is a master of the macabre, so he's going to be setting a different kind of mood that weekend.
Wow, what an amazing event! Absolutely,
yeah, we're super excited. I'm nervous as all can be, but you know what? I know,
don't be.
I know, but it's just
it's exciting.
Yeah, if you guys fold on us, we women will just take over. So don't worry.
Yeah, that's right. You're good. You're good.
They already got control of it anyways, Andrea. They already got control of it anyhow. The ladies are the ones that are the brains behind it, I'm sure.
Oh, bless your hearts.
You know how to say the right thing.
Have a wonderful night. Mike, Eric, be in touch. We'll make arrangements, my darlings.
Yeah, we sure will. Hopefully, definitely get you back shortly. And thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night.
And last but not least, we got me and Eric. And if you want to find any of my personal stuff there out on my social media, if you check out my website, it's flaparanormalresearcher.com. That links out to the Haunted Files website. War Party Paranormal. I got a bunch of different things on there, a blog, some other stuff, some merch, links out to the Ghost Hunter store so you could pick up a pair of Delco goggles if you're interested, and many other fun stuff on there. Eric, tell us about where people can find you.
Don't forget to like and subscribe to the War Party Paranormal YouTube channel. Also, go to our website, warpartyparanormal.com. If you need help, we're non-for-profit. We don't charge a dime. We're here to help people. And also, spooky season's just around the corner, and we got a ton of events that's keeping me busy. I mean, we got Daring Estate. We're going to have the Gold Coast Railroad Museum. We have Old Davies Schoolhouse. And maybe a few other surprises. So... And then me personally, you can find me at Ghost Hunter South Florida on all social media platforms.
And I'm ready to come to another ghost hunt. So after we get this, after we get the what is it? The Gettysburg done, because you just said it. We got a lot of stuff going on. We got Gettysburg, MacabreCon, and then I want to come down and hang out with you guys again.
And
we're getting soon.
I got to get out there, man. I just bought a new house and I've been renovating and doing it. I haven't been out investigating in like 2 months now, and this is like the longest I've ever gone. And I'm freaking out, man. I'm having withdrawals, so I got to get out there. I got
hair turned all gray.
I know.
It's from the house. Ghost hunting and your hair turned gray.
Well, I got the perfect place. And you're going to be able to have the freshest gator tail to eat as well there. So
Wait, what?
Wait, what?
Gator tail.
What about it?
What?
You eat it.
I got a special place for you to investigate, and nearby you're going to have the freshest gator tail to try.
Dude, gator's really good.
Can we wrestle the gator?
If you want.
No, it comes from the kitchen.
You can wrestle it and then eat it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wrestle.
I'm ready, you guys. Hey, and I just want to say thank you guys for putting us on, and everybody out there that's listening. We just want to put on a really cool experience for those people that are into the craft.
Thanks for inviting War Party Paranormal to participate.
Absolutely. Thanks for inviting
Well, I mean,
us.
yeah, I mean, honestly, you guys, I couldn't think of, anybody better.
else, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because you guys do the same practices that we do. You guys are experimenting yourselves. You guys are really down to earth, really down to earth. And so, yeah, it's a must. It's a definite.
That's why I'm so in love with you. I just sound like Satan.
Well, I mean, there's other reasons why I'm in love with you, but yeah.
We'll talk about
Dylan,
that
don't get jealous, Dylan.
Why don't you two just go to a Coldplay concert together? And that's all.
There we go. Too soon, Dylan. Too soon, Dylan. Oh my God.
And on that note,
I'm gonna resign. I'm gonna write a letter and resign.
we'll see you guys next Monday, same time. And everybody keep it spooky, and thanks again.
You guys, thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Are we all good? Are we off air?
Hang on.
Off air.
No. What's it doing?
They redid